What's the main theme of this video?
I'm just a regular guy.
I'm over 30, and fighting games have been like one of those video game genres that have been around since my childhood. And I was like the only person among my groups of friends who liked fighting games enough to try to learn anything. The complaint that I hear the most, at least when I hear people talk about Tekken, is there's too many moves. Within the community, we came up with the solution of just learn the top 10, top 15 most common moves and focus on those.
I think it's just too much to learn, too much to lab, too much to remember. It's too much to balance, right? When you talk about Tekken 7 was starting to fall because it was too many characters with too many moves and the developers couldn't get to it all. And Tekken 8 is kind of already there, right? 10, 11 characters less than Tekken 7. And we're already at that point where the players are like, why isn't this move being fixed? Why isn't that move being fixed? Why is it this move? It's kind of too much.
Now, I would say, like, even before we had gotten Tekken 8, I would have been on the foolish side of hoping that they reduced the move list by 30%. The way that I see it is that in Tekken 3, the Mishima move set was nearly complete. And then once you gave Jin Demon Steel Pedal in Tag 1, that's pretty much it. That's all he needed, which was why Devil Jin could basically exist afterwards and be pretty much the same and just pretty much utilize those tools as good as they were. I mean, like literally as good as they were with barely changes in frame data from Tekken 5 to Tekken 7 and be top tier. Because it's just like, oh, that game plan is so good that it's like you in some ways you could say it's the basis of tech and it's the basis of competitive. That's a small move set that works for him, but then you have to think about how characters were like dog ass compared to the Mishimas, the Changs, or like Bruce and Brian. Many characters just felt incomplete compared to the ones I just listened in Tag 1, that they couldn't even possibly compete. They needed moves, they needed things to help them catch up. Main Man will often say where it's like, okay, you can go and lab that matchup, but who knows when you're going to run into them online. I still tried to buckle down anyway. I still tried to do the whole case of fuck it, just play the game, bro, learn the matchup, just get good. And so I tried to get good with Tekken 8 by literally writing down all of the moves of every character. Finally, going back to that thing that I hadn't done since those Tekken 5 days. I went through every character's move list in Tekken 8, wrote down all of the frame data for them so that I could have separate lists of here's the moves that are plus, here are the moves that either they're mix up or they're safe. I had another category for the moves that are punishable. And then finally, from there, I had a category of here are the moves that I see the most, here are the moves that piss me off getting hit by them because I know if I knew the matchup, these moves would not matter. So I need to know how to punish these moves.
Do you feel like
Um,
Tekken 8 is asking too much out of you? Like the fact that you have
yeah,
to write all this down and take notes, and do you feel that the game
yeah,
is too much?
yeah. Like I went to Combo Breaker, the last one, and still thought there were matches that were sick. I went to Evo for the first time and still popped off at like certain combos and did the whole stuff and was excited to see Armor King, even if he's going to be obnoxious when he comes out. But then also, yes, like there's stuff that is overtuned about Tekken 8, but we don't have to go as severe as removing heat entirely. There are other things I would prefer to be completely gone, like rage arts. You pressuring somebody, like you get somebody into a situation where, okay, you earn the fact that they are near death, and then they can just YOLO rage art and then it's more beneficial than doing a power crush because they also decide that it's fully armored. You can't do lows or throws against it. Maybe if rage arts were just power crushes or if they were slower to activate, you couldn't just legitimately throw them out as, I guess I'll say, a get off me tool. I kind of wish they were less competitively viable and that they were more so one of those bells and whistles on top of the game so that they can be trailer bait and they can get people interested in the game just to see them. And, you can still see them in combos and such. They don't have to be completely useless. They can still do good combo damage. I just feel like if we didn't have to see them competitively every single round, then I will feel better about them. The fact that I know that I can lose to this at any point. And the learn the matchup aspect of that is simply just wait around for them to maybe do or not do it. That ain't that deep, bro. There's still a bit of hope. They could do crazy new stuff, but make it not so egregious or make certain situations punishable enough to where it's not a big deal. And that's something that I also say that, if they're going to introduce these so-called like plus on block stance mix-ups, instead of that, make them neutral on block mix-ups, make the options in those stances more punishable so that when you actually guess right, the other character fucking dies. If
Yeah.
they want to go into this direction, at least make it more rewarding for the defender. Now, I just wanted to showcase um, her moves across the entire series, but not just do a simple showcase. I wanted to, if I know somewhere where I can find like combos or changes like this first move, cross cut saw, they changed the input for it. This move, her full crush move, they changed the reward that you get off of it. And so, there's evolutions to it that you can show beyond just saying, oh, yeah, this move exists. This move existed in one game to the next. There were definitely older moves where,
Did she
like,
do
even
a hell
some.
sweep? I gotta go back. Not to cut you off. She did a hell sweep.
Go ahead. 442, that then
That's a
became a
hell
freaking
sweep.
rocket launcher.
That's a hell sweep.
Don't worry,
What?
the footage is in black and white. That means it's gone.
So, what do you think about the evolution of the character Anna?
Knowing that she's freaking top tier, like how can I like enjoy her right now in any aspect? It's like I made this video because she was a legacy character, and I was like, it was dead in the water as soon as she got released. Because who would be able to be positive about Anna right now?
Yeah, it does kind of sucks. I feel like the developers, when they make these characters so powerful, it forces you to hate them. Like Marduk wasn't really hated like that, but now everyone hates him.
And I definitely don't want him back right now either.
I think it's kind of irresponsible of the developers to make these characters so powerful the way that they are.
I wouldn't call it like irresponsible, but I guess in a way it is irresponsible because of the way that the players are irresponsible about it, where it's like, don't care, got mines mentality. There's a lot of specific groups of people who play specific characters who are not genuine about the character, like the situations with people downplaying and attacking other players because they play a specific character, and just this middle school BS.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I said irresponsible is because they encourage it.
The encouragement part of it is the fact that Yun and Yang got added to Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, where Yoshinori Ono said, we made these characters strong on purpose.
It's just like the developers are knowingly breaking their game. They are creating so much chaos and controversy just because
And
they
it's
want
like
to
this,
sell
it's
the
just turned
character.
you're incentivized to market the character and being top tier because that'll get more people to buy him. Power crushes, which is one of those things where conceptually I never liked because power crush leads to armor, which leads into free get off me situations to not actually think about the game and not actually be good at Tekken. The opponent blocks, but the frame rate is still to where they're safe. Nah, screw that. If your power crush failed, it failed. I think those should go back to being punishable.
I'm seeing players use power crushes as a universal defense to offense. It's much harder to backdash, punish, and stuff like that. But it's much easier if the player is attacking you than just power crush out of it.
I don't like just power crush bro as a response.
You don't have to learn anything, right? Instead of, actually learning what they're doing and overcoming it, Power Crushes is becoming this universal tool to just stop it all, right? They're challenging me, they're pressuring me, Power Crush. But also the fact that that's the one thing that players are relying on to survive shows how unsurvivable the game is, right? Where a lot of people, they're tired of, getting chipped down. They're tired of trying to move and they can't move. So the best thing to do if you don't have all the knowledge is to power crush. And it goes back to how the game was designed, because in Tekken 7 people didn't spam power crushes like that. It makes sense why everyone's doing it, because it's the safest, most effective response you can have. Trying to crouch, trying to move, if you do it at the wrong time, you die. If you do a power crush in any of those situations, it works.
Chat just said, yeah, Power Crush turned into a DP for Street Fighter. But no, it didn't, because if you block a DP, they die. But here, you get to Power Crush and you have high Power Crushes that are safe and mids that are only like basically 12 frame punishables.